Welcome to Cosmic Origins. We are outside on this beautiful day today, and oh my gosh, there's a lot to talk about as far as the energies right now. Not even mentioning the market crash and the gathering that I'm going to be talking about, but I just want to go over a little bit like what Alexis and I experienced this morning and what's been going on with these solar flares. So basically, Alexis and I have been going through kind of body pain. A lot of people have been going through this. There's been a lot of solar activity lately, a lot of geomagnetic activity. And we decided to go to the chiropractor this morning. Got up, we're like, yeah, we should go to the chiropractor. And we started to drive and we looked at the sky and we realized that the sky in Sedona was full of what we would call magnetic lines. So what I'm talking about is sometimes when you look at the clouds, they're not distributed normally. They're in total parallel lines that come from the magnetics of the magnetosphere and the geomagnetics of the Earth. So I'm very curious if where you guys are at, if you're also experiencing this in the sky. I think at this point it's kind of died down, but when we first got out around 10 o'clock this morning, Pacific Standard Time, the sky just had these crazy geomagnetic lines. And for those just joining in, I'm talking about the clouds today in Sedona were like totally magnetically aligned north to south, totally parallel north to south. Hi, Candy Apple. Good to see you. Have you guys seen that before? Do you know what I'm talking about? When the clouds are just totally lined up magnetically. And today it was north to south, which we haven't actually seen before. So Alexis was like, this might actually be going on for the entire planet right now. If we're getting a north and south pole energy system going and it's causing the clouds to do this thing. And so we were tripping out. And if you want to see videos of that, go check my Instagram. I just posted them on my Instagram at jaysedeface, JAYSEDEFACE. And yeah, they were really trippy. Scalar waves could be. These felt natural, but you never know. I think sometimes they are HARP or related type of technologies, scalar wave technologies. Other times they're more natural, and maybe combinations of the two. Like, I really don't know. I'm just going off of my intuition and the data that I've seen. But yeah, for those just joining in, we're talking about the crazy magnetics that are going on today, and I'm about to get into the solar flares. So for those just joining in, here in Sedona today, crazy magnetic lines going from north to south, the entire sky parallel clouds like not normal. And we interpreted it as the magnetic anomalies of the planet, but it could have been some kind of technology doing it. But then what happened, another reason why I think that it was natural was we get to our chiropractic appointment. We go through it. It's really fast, whatever. We come back and Alexis finds that literally while we were getting our correction done, there was an M-class solar flare, which I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe is the second largest next to X-class. I know that it's at least very large. So, yo, what's up, Andy? Good to see you. What's up, everyone else in the chat? Heather, Voxor, Lexi. Good to see you guys. Cheshire, good to see you, Cheshire. Hey, maybe you saw what I'm talking about, the crazy.
It is the second largest.
Second largest, okay. Alexis confirmed.
It went into the area where it could disturb the radio waves.
And she says it went into the area where it could disturb the radio waves and cause radio wave blackouts. So that was the M-class solar flare. And then she also found that over the past 24 hours, there were 9 other C-class solar flares leading up to this M-class one. So it was just crazy synchronistic that we wake up, we're like, oh my God, we have to go get an alignment today. We've just been out of alignment with our spines and our necks and stuff. And we go, the clouds are crazy. The clouds are magnetics like we've never seen before, super intense. And then there's an M-class solar flare directly after. So that's kind of a weird thing too, is you would kind of assume that, or at least me, I would assume that the magnetic lines that you would see visibly would maybe come after the solar flare itself, like the magnetosphere reacting to the solar flare. But potentially this is where we're getting into maybe the quantum. and maybe the Earth was reacting to the potential of this solar flare before the flare actually happened, and it was connecting quantumly, you know, quantum entanglement. I guess there's a hummingbird just right here. Good sign.
There may also be a reporting delay for basic privacy of private endeavors. Like there's a delay of reporting the flares potentially.
Oh, a delay of reporting, meaning it could have come earlier?
It may have happened when we were looking at it.
Okay, she says there might have been a delay in the reporting of the flares itself. So it is possible that the flare happened before the magnetic lines, or like right at the same time. But yeah, where you guys are in the world, did you notice that this morning? Like right now, it seems like it's mostly dispersed looking at the sky. But again, if you go to my Instagram at Jaysteface, JaySeDeface, you can see what I'm talking about. Posted some pictures. Voxor says XRP on sale for anyone interested right now. Yeah, so we'll get into that too. Market crash and everything, and then the Family of Light gathering. So yeah, M-class solar flare. Crazy energies today. Like I'm just feeling it. I don't know if you guys feel it, but I almost didn't do the live because I was just feeling so scattered and out of it. But sometimes actually organizing my thoughts in this way helps me ground. So I decided to come outside and do it rather than setting up the green screen in the studio and all that. Get some fresh outdoor air. But yeah, solar flare. In addition to that, there was a ton of earthquakes yesterday. Heather says, suspicious observers channel said that some aspects cause ripples almost instantly. Ripples? I can't remember what it was. Plasma. Interesting. Okay, Lexi, I'll get back. I guess I'll answer now. Is BitTrue a legit exchange, says Lexi. I want NRG and Polkadot. BitTrue is a legit exchange, definitely. They are XRP based, and they're pretty much the most XRP supporting exchange. They are based out of Singapore, from what I know. So in the US, there are limitations with accessing BitTrue. For instance, I think you can only really access it through the app and not through a web browser. And don't make an account, because then you'll get locked out for sure. Don't make like don't verify yourself on BitTrue like you would on Coinbase or Uphold, because you'll probably get locked out. But yeah, with the earthquakes, a lot of ships in the sky, says Lexi. Yeah, I noticed that too here. What's up, human beings? Good to see you. Either yesterday or the day before yesterday, there were a ton of earthquakes in China. And in particular, there was like a 7.2 magnitude earthquake in China, which is huge, which was preceded, kind of like the solar flare was preceded by a bunch of smaller ones. This earthquake was preceded by a bunch of smaller earthquakes that I heard were in the area of the Three Gorges Dam. So, of course, the Three Gorges Dam ties into all this stuff with the breaking of the dam symbolically, and the flood waters and the flood of liquidity when it comes to crypto and symbolically, but also directly tied in with crypto in the sense of Bitcoin, and the fact that the majority of Bitcoin miners in the world are located at the base of the Three Gorges Dam in China. That's my understanding. And of course, the Three Gorges Dam is, there's a lot going on there. It's probably some kind of deep underground military base. It is the largest man-made structure in the world, from what I understand. And they're constantly finding leaks and flexing and stuff like that with Three Gorges. So I think that, well, in addition to that, I was talking to a friend yesterday that was telling me he had a dream basically of what he thought was the Three Gorges breaking. And he said it wasn't pretty, there was a lot of destruction, obviously. And he wasn't sure particularly if it was the Three Gorges, but he said based on the kind of people that he saw there, it looked like it was probably China. And yeah, so I think we're leading up to there's a lot of catalyst that's been building. These earthquakes, with these solar flares, with the financial reset, with the disclosure of everything that's going on with Mr. T and Biden and everything. There's a lot building up. Trump also, T just did
There was just another earthquake 548 kilometers deep in Fiji again.
Oh my gosh, okay. So Alexis just said there was another earthquake. Was that today?
Just now.
Just now in Fiji, 540 kilometers deep.
548.
548 kilometers deep in Fiji. That would be like hundreds of miles. And the one yesterday, was that in Fiji too? That was like 600 kilometers deep. So that's the thing with these earthquakes. Under Fiji in particular, which Fiji is one of the ones that I pointed out in my previous videos on Google Earth, has all of these tunnels coming out from under it. If you go on Google Earth and you look at like Hawaii and Fiji and Australia and you look at the oceans, there's all these tunnel systems that are visible on Google Earth that they say are mapping anomalies. And so hundreds of miles underneath Fiji, we're getting huge earthquakes. So what does that tell you? There's something going on. There's either bases being blown up, or there are large, it could be natural, could be totally natural, could be large earth shifts. You know, earthquakes come from the earth shifting, so that's obviously a possibility. It doesn't have to be a human involved thing, but I do get the feeling that it has to do with both the earth shifts, the solar changes, and humans doing certain things to clear out energy in, yeah, Fiji water, says Heather. Yep, that was part of it, at least like energetically. Voxer says, I've heard about tunnels being destroyed. Yep. Tiffany says, I've always wanted to go there. You're talking about Fiji? Yeah, me too. I think that honestly, a lot of us light workers are going to be coming into these places that have had a lot of darkness, a lot of military presence, a lot of just density, and we're going to be called there, and we're going to end up there. You know, I'm not saying Fiji in particular, but these various places around the world, the ley lines, the dragon lines, the energy centers that need to be activated by light workers, we're going to be called there, and we're gonna live in some beautiful places, honestly. But there's also going to be like energy work to be done there on the land, sacred energy work. So, yeah, so man, when I heard about those earthquakes, particularly the depth of them, and then the fact that a bunch of them were on the Three Gorges Dam, I don't know how deep the ones that were near the Three Gorges Dam were, but I'll have to look into that. If they were deep, that could be a sign of potential dumb activity, deep underground military base activity under the Three Gorges. Massive underwater volcanoes active in Antarctica and off the coast of Africa, says Lexi. Nice. I haven't heard about that, but I mean, that makes sense. Hey, Galactivation, good to see ya. So the other thing with this is, well, I guess let's move on into kind of crypto and what we're seeing with crypto, because it does tie into this with the Three Gorges and what's happening with Bitcoin and everything. So China basically came out for what I understand to be the umpteenth time, saying that basically they're planning on cracking down on Bitcoin miners in China, which is extremely ironic and definitely scripted, considering that they are the ones that control the majority of miners. I believe the general figures as of 2021 are that 75%, which used to be 50% last year, now it's 75% of Bitcoin miners are in China, and then it's like 5 individuals control a large portion of that 75%. So this is where like Brad Garlinghouse had an interview with Pomp, and they were talking about the Pomp is a big Bitcoin guy, a podcaster, and they were basically talking about the ability, Brad Garlinghouse being the CEO of Ripple, he was like, don't you think that China, the Chinese Communist Party, has the ability to crack down on these miners? And Pomp was like, no, why would they that? And then that's where that reaction from Brad that was like, became a big meme, and Flair put it in their trailer, and now it's like this huge meme of Brad going basically about China and the CCP and their control over Bitcoin. Now, another interesting theory that I've heard in regards to Bitcoin, I think Zen and I have talked about this, is the idea that the white hats in the States essentially set up a way to pay our debt to China, to the white hats in China, through Bitcoin. So essentially, instead of paying China, this is the theory, I'm not saying this is fact, this is what I've heard. Instead of paying China the debt that we directly owe them, the trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, what I've heard is that the White Hats set up a deal that allowed China to take the majority control of Bitcoin, and the increase in the price over that would pay off our debt to them, essentially, and we wouldn't need an official payout from the US to China. It was like a backdoor deal kind of thing. So what actually happens when China decides to crack down on Bitcoin miners? Well, one, of course, panic, mass sell-offs, retail investors sell, allowing the upper dogs, the more, the whales, the CCP, whoever, to buy in at cheaper prices to get more, take advantage of the FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt that the retail, average people like us have. And then it causes congestion on the network, which actually creates typically higher mining fees, transaction fees for the miners. So if you think the CCP controls the miners, CCP says publicly, we're going to attack the miners, or, we're going to make them illegal. And then, of course, the market reacts with FUD, it crashes. They can buy in cheaper, but then also they're making more money on the mining transactions. So very scripted. I'm not going to say whether, this was scripted by white hats or black hats at the larger end of things, because at the end of the day, everything's one, right? Like, at the end of the day, we've won the war, honestly. Like, I was talking to a friend about this yesterday who was very much concerned about the direction that things have been going in regards to what it looks like on the surface optically with, what's going on with the United States and China and the world powers. And I was really trying to tell him, if you really tap into the energies, like if you take out the human players and you take out your expectations of who you think is attached to what and who is what, and you just meditate and lock in on the energies of planet Earth, of light and dark, and how much light and dark are present in what is going on, and how much the light and dark each respectively have power over the current moment. The light's won. The light has 100% won. Now, I'm not saying that the dark isn't still here in small factions. They are. But energetically, you can say the head has been cut off the dragon. The head of the dragon has been severed. Some people talk about the Yaldabaoth entity, which is the octopus entity that is even pictured in the NRO mission patches for the National Reconnaissance Office, which I've talked about in previous videos too. How the National Reconnaissance Office used to be a part of all these satanic space rituals where they were sending up huge rockets into space, huge payloads that had mission patches that were extremely satanic and occult. Like the Yaldabaoth entity controlling the Earth with its tentacles around the Earth. That was a literal mission patch. Or a three-headed dragon with its claws around the Earth. Or literally a devil in one of them. Their logo is an owl that says, "We own the night." So this is all connected with like Space Force and everything too. And yeah. Anyways, bit of a tangent there. Lexi says, invest in niobium. It's an antibacterial and can grow tooth enamel, also used in quantum computers. Interesting. I'm going to screenshot that because I've never heard of that. Niobium. Heather says they also said only licensed traders can trade in China, I believe, squeezing out retail investors. That makes sense. Okay, Voxor says, hey, unrelated, but have you seen anything on false UFO disclosure? Been seeing a lot in the MSM. I personally believe they could be staging a fake invasion to justify a global takeover. That is a very interesting subject right now. I know there are a lot of different opinions about, and like insights, intuitive feelings about what people think is going to go down. at the end of the day, I go back to what I was kind of just saying, which is we've won the war, and I don't have fear over anything drastically happening on behalf of the dark, as in any kind of actual fake alien invasion or a real alien invasion that is malevolent or anything of the sort. I'm not saying it's impossible. You know, we've talked about, I think I talked about on this channel how at the Cosmic Awakening gathering in Sedona a couple weeks ago that I worked at, there was secret space program whistleblower guy named Randy Kramer, who some of you guys might be familiar with, who literally told everybody that there were going to be giant bug people that were going to invade the Earth. Very real, not a fake alien invasion. And it triggered a lot of people, triggered me. I was like, dude, you're seriously going to get on stage and tell people this? But I think it actually was good because it gave, well, a little bit of insight to this. His claim was that the Nazi breakaway civilizations were using their free will of their collective consciousness to free will call in this negative group of bug beings to do a physical invasion. And he said it was basically because of their free will and they were choosing this that was going to be decided to happen. But then this whole group of starseeds is basically kind of triggered and going, yo, do you not realize we're starseeds and these Nazi guys can fuck off, and we have way more power than the Nazi guys do as far as the collective timeline? Sure, I'm sure the Nazis, you know, they can get together, whatever Nazi groups are out there, and try to steer the timeline in whatever direction they want to steer it, but we have so much more power than them. So much more. They're like little ants. They're like little bugs compared to, well, we're like elephants, right? Just like, they have no power. So that's fine. Like I can respect if, you know, he's saying that his sources are telling him this and blah, blah, blah. But it was kind of good that he told this group of starseeds that, because then this group of starseeds was like, yo, we're not going to allow that to happen. No, that's not going to happen on our timeline. So in terms of that, like what you were saying, I think that, you know, real alien invasion, fake alien invasion, whatever, they may try it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see it happening. We can kind of talk about what's going on with this, like, June 1st UFO deadline disclosure and it potentially being partial disclosure, because that kind of interests me as well, and it ties into this. Hey, Frankie. Yeah, if they wanted to harm us, they would have already. Or if they could harm us, they would have already, right? Like, sometimes they want to, but they can't because we are more powerful. We are infinitely more powerful than they are, which pisses them off. It's because the light is infinitely more powerful than the dark. If you take a light and you take dark, you know, which one wins? Like, just in, if you take a dark room and you put a light in it, the dark will never outpower the light. It's just not natural. The former Disclosure Project, this Galactivation saying this, the former Disclosure Project was involved in misinformation involving disclosure. Of course, to the Stars Academy is an agenda that they're losing. Yeah. Yep. And that whole thing is really weird because I used to follow Tom DeLonge. I used to really like Tom DeLonge back when he did Angels and Airwaves and Blink. I was a big fan of Angels and Airwaves back when I was a teenager. And I felt like I really connected to him. I felt like I knew him on another level. And I feel like I do still, but I think that the person we see today is not the person that we saw 10 years ago or whatever. And also with that whole partial disclosure timeline, I really do feel like, in the same sense that I'm saying that we've won the war, I think white hats have co-opted that. I think white hats have co-opted that partial disclosure timeline. And it's like white hats co-opted every single timeline that the black hats were going to try to put out there. I say white hats and black hats very loosely. Sorry if those words don't resonate with you, but they're, you know, you could replace them with another word: good guys, bad guys, you know, beings of the light, beings of the dark, whatever. But I really feel like when it comes to coronavirus, when it comes to these cyber attacks, when it comes to that partial disclosure alien agenda, when it comes to the vaccines, everything, white hats co-opted it. And rather than do some super obvious thing where it was like obvious to the world in the exact moment it happened that the white hats had taken over, That's not very strategic as far as military strategy. Military strategy, in my mind, would be take care of the operation, complete the operation when no one knows it's going on, and then tell everybody about it after it's all said and done and taken care of. And that's exactly what I feel happened. That was great. Was that you, Cheshire and Joel? They really have co-opted this, and rather than make it some big event when we would have been obvious in the moment, we're going to find out about it over the next couple years after it's already happened. And it's the reason why I'm not afraid of the virus. It's the reason why I'm not afraid of the vaccine. It's the reason why I'm not even afraid of people I love getting the vaccine, because, you know, even though I'm not going to get it myself, I've been around people who have had it, and I felt their energy field. And I don't know how to describe this, but this may seem counterintuitive to you, but I actually felt that the vaccine that was at least in the person that I was around was assisting him in some way. And I don't mean that it's a healthy thing. I don't mean that people like you and me should get it. I mean that the people who are guided to get it, there is some sort of healing medicine that they're going to get out of this experience, even if it results in them dying, even if we have this huge, mass death of everyone that got the vaccines, which I know some people are theorizing. I personally don't feel that's what's going to happen. I don't think like millions, billions of people are just going to die from the vaccine. It's possible though, like I'm prepared for that. But like I really felt that it's like these people that were guided to the vaccine needed some kind of healing on their DNA level. And it's like it provided them some level of DNA healing, which the vaccines don't typically do, obviously. And it in my mind, that fits in the puzzle with understanding why the Trump admin has been pushing the vaccines too, because that's been one of the biggest things for me to really grasp is like, why is the Trump admin pushing the vaccine so much? Trump and Ivanka especially, like constantly talking about it. That really messed with me. And then when I actually was around people who had it and I was feeling their energy field, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, you needed a certain level of DNA healing that I think maybe I don't know if it's every vaccine, maybe for some reason the Pfizer one is the one that keeps coming to mind. And I don't know why. I could be totally wrong, but it could be that I'm just tapping into the overall healing of like, it's these people's ticket off the earth because they're done, right? Like they're calling it quits on an energetic level because they're tired of the pain and suffering of, that earth can present if you're not working on yourself and you're not doing the shadow work. You're not healing yourself, then some people just want a way out. And maybe that's what I'm tapping into, but I speculate and I feel that there's something deeper about it. And still, I'm not going to get it, 100% not going to get it, and I don't advocate anyone get it. I'm saying that the people specifically who are guided to it, there's something there for them. Lexi, you saw Angels and Airwaves in Virginia 2010? Nice. They were awesome. I really liked them. And he was like, Tom was all about cosmic awakening, and like, he was deep into it, and he was deep into the real UFO disclosure. And then something happened with the whole To the Stars thing. I don't know if it was that he was a useful idiot, like Alexis says, and, just let his ego get too far in front of him and ended up going down this rabbit hole. But I actually think that's how it started. But there was a shift, now that I remember it, with Tom DeLonge and To the Stars back in 2016, when he was working with Podesta. Right when the 2016 Podesta leaks came out, there was a huge shift in that To the Stars project. They were about to release this documentary that never came out, that featured Podesta and featured all these other deep state people. And it never came out. The WikiLeaks came out, the Podesta emails, and then that documentary, there was like a teaser trailer for it with Podesta in it, and then vanished, never came out. And then the whole project shifted. So maybe that was the moment that the White Hats actually did their operation. The WikiLeaks came out, and maybe it was around that time period, even before Trump came into office. It's totally possible. I feel like a lot of this stuff was taken care of before we even consciously realized fully what was going on. And that's part of the plan, you know? It's trippy to think about. It's trippy to think about, for sure. He joined their secret society? Yeah, he could have. Or like maybe they killed him and, you know, replaced him with a clone. So, oh, you, Galactivation, you liked Angels and Airwaves too? Nice. I actually went and saw them, Alexis and I went and saw them a couple years ago, right when they started touring again, because I wanted to like telepathically feel his energy field and see what was going on. And it was a mess, honestly. It was, I mean, his energy field's always kind of been a mess, but it was definitely weird. Definitely weird. He disclosed he's a Mason. Yeah. Yeah. But who knows what kind of Mason, right? Because as we know, there's good Masons, there's dark Masons, different factions. But hopefully a positive one. Stockholm Arena is being changed to Avicii Stadium? That's what they're going to call it? That's news to me. That's cool. Well, while we're here, while everyone's here, we got 25 people hanging out. I want to talk about the Family of Light gathering, and then we can go back into, you know, talking about all this other stuff until we get bored. So the Family of Light gathering is Alexis and I's first full-size official conference that we're going to be putting on together. It's going to be here in Sedona, Arizona. It's going to be 3 days of conscious speakers, musicians, vendors, artists, healers, focused around mind, body, and spirit. So the pure intention of it is to be a service to others event that is rooted in the cultivation of mind, body, and spirit, all in the beautiful red rocks and sacred vortices of Sedona, Arizona. So basically each day is kind of broken down as either mind, body, or spirit. And the speakers for that day, it flowed together so well. Like, when I was building the event and reaching out to people, and it came together so divinely. It was like I wasn't even building it. I was just kind of the person like hosting the energy, but it was building itself. And so basically Friday is mind, and it's going to be red pill, disclosure, personal experience, ET contact, that kind of thing. And on Friday we're going to be having probably me speaking. We don't know about that yet. It depends how busy I am with other stuff, but I put myself on there for now. Might be me and Zach, but we're gonna have Journey to Truth speaking on Friday, Tyler and Aaron. Love them, some of my closest friends. We have Alara from 1 Foot in 5D, if you guys know Alara. And we're gonna have the Kate Awakening Friday night, if you guys know the Kate Awakening. All of those people, everyone at this conference is a friend of ours, which is awesome too. It's like, we wanted to bring in people that we trust and we know and that we love, you know, and that's like a big part of these gatherings, is to have a cohesive energy field. And Alexis and I have been to a lot of gatherings and events and conferences over the years, so we've really been able to figure out what flows, what doesn't flow, what works in these kind of events. And yeah, super excited. So that's Friday. And then Friday night is going to be a red pill roundtable, as we're calling it, with all those folks involved. And then Friday night's music is going to be from a local Sedona conscious hip hop rap artist named Ben Steezy, who is just like so talented with his lyrics and his music about disclosure and health and like tonics and medicinal mushrooms. And he has a song about adrenochrome that is just like so good. So I thought that would be a perfect way to end off the night for the Mind Day when it comes to disclosure and red pill stuff. By the way, all this stuff is available at Familyoflight.info. which should be in the description down below. Thank you, Alexis, for posting it. And you can get passes on there. There are passes available normal, and then there's a discount if you pay with XRP on there. Big discount, 33% discount if you pay with XRP. There's also a live stream available, you guys. If you can't make it out to Sedona, really solid live stream like pricing, like 111 normal, 77 if you pay with XRP for 3 days of all this stuff. So Saturday is going to be Spirit, and it's going to be based around the more galactic and cosmic connections with our spirit. And we're going to have, again, a bunch of people that we love and know and we're friends with. So we're going to have Alexander Mazone and Rion de Rouen, who are popular here in Sedona. They used to do a show called Morning Coffee together, and they have their own companies, basically. Team Light is what Rion does, and he makes all these amazing orgonite pieces that are just like next level 5D technology. And same with Alexander. He has Crystal Current, which they make these amazing crystal bracelets that alternate magnets and crystals, and the magnets push on the crystals and create a piezoelectric current, and they're super powerful. I have a couple of those bracelets, and they're very powerful. And they're both very knowledgeable, wise, loving people. And so they're going to be speaking, and they're also going to have their vending booths there. And who else do we have Saturday? Then we have Matthew Mornian, another great friend of ours. Remember Your Mission. He's going to be there. We've been friends with Matthew for many years, and we're super excited to have him there. And who else is Saturday? Saturday, kind of mind blanking right now. I can't pull it up on my phone because I'm doing the live stream here. But Matthew, Rion, Alexander. I think I might be forgetting someone from Saturday. Anyway, Sunday. Oh, Saturday night is going to be the dance party too. So Saturday night is going to be Cosmic Dance Party. I'm going to be DJing that with my friend Ryan, aka Love Sponge, and it's just going to be a fun, like, couple hour dance party where we're just going to like move all that cosmic energy and prepare to get it into the body, which is going to be Sunday. So Sunday is body, and we're going to have let's see, I'm trying to think of who the first person on Sunday is. I forget the order, but we have I think Alexis is actually the first person. So we have Alexis. Alexis is going to be talking about the Schumann resonance, of course, and her amazing amount of wisdom and knowledge and data that she's collected and intuition. So she'll be presenting on that. And then Sexual Kung Fu. If you guys know Sexual Kung Fu, recently I've become better friends with him. I met him at the Cosmic Awakenings conference recently and invited him out to this conference. And he is all about sexual health, particularly an emphasis on men's health and semen retention, and using Qigong and energy work to essentially retain your energy, especially for men, like I was saying, retain that energy, which is something that, the group of Kangs are doing with No Fap right now. If you guys have been watching the Round Table and Graph and Zen and all that. So it really ties in. And yeah, I'm super excited to have him. And then we're going to have Troy Casey, the certified health nut, who is now a Sedona local as well. He used to be out in LA, now he's in Sedona. And he's going to be either speaking or giving a breathwork ceremony or both. Either way, it's going to be great. And then, is there another person Sunday? Oh my, it's hard to remember everyone. There's a lot of people. Yes, go to Familyoflight.info. You'll get all the info there. We've got all the speakers, all the bios, all the musicians, and we're going to be putting the vendors up there soon. So if you, by the way, have already reached out to me to be a vendor for the event and I haven't gotten back to you, I'm going to get back to you soon. It's been a very busy week. I only just started getting to my emails yesterday in regards to vendors and other stuff. It really took a lot out of me to like crunch the website and get everything there. So I've been resting and trying to catch up on things. So vendors I will be getting back to if you've already emailed me. If you're interested in vending, you can reach out to me. The great thing about the vending spaces is that they are, the vendors are basically going to be given their own unique time. So we're going to have free time, which is going to be a couple hours out of the day. It's going to be scheduled where the free time is for mingling and socializing and for going to the healers and the vendors. So that's something that Alexis and I really realized we valued at other gatherings and conferences, was not having everything so smushed, having time to breathe and flow and like go get food or go hang out somewhere or relax. So there's going to be 2 hours every day right now is in the schedule for lunch, free time vendors. And in that time, you can even leave the venue and you can go on a hike, or you can, go get some healing from some of the healers or buy something, or just hang out and chat and meet people. But that free time was really important to us, because you need to be able to breathe when you're getting all of this information and light codes and downloads. It's really important to give it some space and integrate it. And that was kind of the idea with the mind, spirit, body order. Normally it's mind, body, spirit, but we did mind, spirit, body because we wanted to start in the mind, go up to the spirit, and then ground it back down in the body. And that way we're ending the weekend grounding everything we learned back into the body. So the vendors will be, not only will they have that discrete time, but the vendors will be able to watch all the speakers, which is important too. So you won't have to be at your booth the entire time watching your stuff while there's someone you want to see. Because I've experienced that as a vendor, not being able to see someone I wanted to see. So I wanted to give that opportunity. I'm really just trying to make this like a service to others as possible, and really give everyone the opportunity to get as much as they can out of this experience. Yeah, Alexa says vendors are also audience guests, so you'll be able to see everything, which is great. Yeah, Galactivation, there's going to be a stream. So yeah, if you can't travel, it's all good. No video, just chat right now. Are you talking about me? Can you not see me? Okay, cool. We're good. He's back. So yeah, Familyoflight.info. I'm probably going to be kickstarting some interviews in the near future on the Divine Sovereign Beings channel, which is the kind of the backup channel to this channel. I don't think it's in the description right now, but if you go to my last video, it should be the top link in the description. And on that channel, I will be posting the interviews that we'll be doing, probably. I don't want to lock myself into it yet because there's a lot going on, but I'm probably going to be doing interviews with people because it's something I've been wanting to do too, and it would be great to link with the event. What else? Oh, Alexis, if you guys are in the Sedona area, this is much more in the immediate term. Alexis is going to be hosting a free week-long Sedona Vortex gathering where basically every day we will be meeting as a group. Whoever shows up basically will be meeting at a particular hike, and it's just going to be like a flow kind of a thing where people are going to show up and we'll do whatever we feel like doing it. We might go on a hike, we might chat, we might have, breath work, we might sing, who knows. But this has really been Alexis's baby that she's been working on, and she really wanted to bring forward this sense of freedom and fluidity with a gathering and not having to charge anybody, which is really great. So this is a separate thing. This is a free week-long gathering where we will just be meeting at a different hike each day. You can find the information at ascensiondiaries.com. Alexis, if you want to drop your link down there. And that's going to be this next week, starting Monday through at the end of the week. Monday through Friday. There's the link. So yeah, if you guys are in Arizona, in Sedona, in the Sedona area, and you feel called to that, we'd love to see you there. Guys, I really like doing these outside. It's so much better for my brain, even though I like the green screen and the fun effects and being able to pull up the internet and stuff, being outside is just so much better for my consciousness. I came into this not feeling great and kind of pushing myself to do the stream because I'm I just got to talk about a couple things, but I didn't even expect to go 45 minutes. I was it'll be 15 minutes, but when I actually get in the zone, it's actually really healing. So thank you guys. You guys are healing me. Yeah, so Andy says, I want to meditate in the vortex area, and Cheshire pointed out that the venue is down the street from the Schnebley vortex. Yep, so the venue is off, it's literally 333 Schnebley Hill Road. And it's funny because I didn't even realize the 333 with the 33% discount we're offering with crypto. It's kind of cool. But yeah, pretty much anywhere you're in Sedona, you're going to get some vortex activity. You can definitely go to the specific vortex sites like Cheshire mentioned, Schnebley Hill Vortex. There's tons. There's Bell Rock, there's Cathedral, there's Airport Mesa. But really just being here and in the city, you're going to feel it. And I'm trying to work out potentially if there might be an opportunity on one of those free times on one of the days where I might be able to bring in somebody with a bus that could give like a tour around town for people while no speakers are speaking during the free time, where people could get a nice view of the Red Rocks who have never been here and who don't necessarily want to go out hiking, especially in the heat. It is going to be a little hot, you know, it is Arizona. It'll be much cooler than normal Arizona, like not normal Arizona, what people generally think of as Arizona, which is Phoenix. It's cooler than Phoenix, but it is still going to be summer. But we will be indoors in an air-conditioned venue, really nice air-conditioned venue. So it's going to be good. The vendors are also indoors, so no sweat, literally. And then, yeah, the potential of having a tour would be really cool too. So I'm going to be looking into that. I'm already talking to the person. I just need to verify some more things. Later, human beings. Voxer says, that's a nice backyard. I prefer this too. Yeah, real nature versus like green screen nature just does it a little better, right? Even though you're watching it on a screen, just it's a little more natural, right? Maybe when I do want to pull up the internet, I'll figure out a way to bring my laptop out here and do the whole OBS thing. But it's just nice to keep it so simple. You can hear the birds. Oh, good. I live in normal Arizona, says Hope. Yeah, July's hot, says Cheshire. Yeah, so air conditioning is going to be very important, and we will have that. Yeah, well, yeah, you're pointing out I'm wearing layers. It is cold today, which I think, at least for me, it was kind of cold. And I think that might be related to like the solar activity that we're seeing going on. Yeah, 70's cold for me. That's why I'm chilly. I need to put on a jacket and a hood. Could have been from that solar activity, from the solar flare and whatever crazy magnetic lines were going over this morning. Now the whole sky is just kind of loosely covered in clouds. It's very interesting. Well, I think I hit everything. So yeah, Familyoflight.info is where you can find all the information and get passes and learn more. And you can follow me on Instagram at JAYSEDEFACE, Jaystaface. And then tomorrow is going to be the roundtable with the Knights on Zen God's channel. If you guys haven't tuned into that before, definitely recommend it. It's a great group of people. Mainly it's based around conscious cryptocurrency, but we talk about everything else with the awakening experience, health, the cosmic connections, like everything. And on this episode, Santos Bonacci, I think that's how you say his name. I'm not actually too familiar with him myself, but he's going to be our special guest for the roundtable tomorrow. So that's going to be really cool. And looking forward to that. So yeah, thanks you guys for hanging out. Any random questions? Anything you want to talk about before we bounce out of here? Trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to bring up. Talked about the crash. XRP on flash sale. It was like 85 cents when I checked this morning. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, again, if you pay for your passes, if you register with XRP instead of with fiat, it's over $100 off, 33% discount. So great discount for the Family of Light gathering. All right, you guys, much love. Great talking to you. And I will see you next Saturday. Peace out.